Welcome to the JAMODI podcast, where we interview coaches and leaders to find out not just what they do, but how they do what they do. Becoming the best version of ourselves is JAMODI, just a matter of doing it. There's a lot of emphasis put on shooting these days. I mean, I tend to love that. But at your program, how do you teach shooting, or even just more of the mentality and training that you do with your players?
Yes, sir. Shooting's big with us, and I take a lot of pride in coaching guys with shooting, and we get guys that have some really bad shot mechanics when we get them, and so we have to figure out, what kind of changes do we think that we can make with them. And corrections to get their shot better. So, for example, maybe if a guy, gets his elbow out quite a bit when he shoots, and, we need to get that elbow in. Now, ideally, maybe getting it all the way in as far as we can might be too unnatural for him. So we may have to try to find maybe like kind of a little bit of a happy medium on something like that. But things like how the ball is positioned in your hand, making sure it's, not down in the fatty part of your palm, laying down here against that plate at the base of your fingers, not interfering with your offhand, your guide hand. I mean, things like that we think are critical to being a great shooter. So those are things that we're going to correct with anybody. But the other things, there may be a little bit of leeway. What we try to do is, like I said, maybe find a happy medium, or this is what we're going to do right now, and if we can get this mastered, then maybe we can tweak it some more. But we just really try to emphasize basic stuff like stepping into your shot, trying to keep your shoulders square to the bucket, elbow in, ball in your hand properly, don't interfere with the offhand. We do a lot of we do a drill, which I really like. And I think one thing is guys don't really know how to use their core when they shoot. And, we try to tell guys, we say, hey, walk around on your, try to walk around on your hands for a little bit. And they may do that, and they can do it for maybe, some guys can't even do it for 2 seconds, but maybe 4 or 5 seconds or whatever, And the point is, you walk around on your legs all day, and your legs are much stronger than your upper body. So we really try to get guys to understand how to use their core. And we do a drill where we stand guys on the 3-point line. If they're right-handed, we have them get their right foot back, and they just catch the ball, and they take a big step into their shot, like a big step. But they can't jump up in the air. They're just shooting a set shot. But what that does is it teaches guys how to use their core. We're not trying to do it for speed, and they learn to use their legs. And when the funny thing is, when they first start doing that drill, they'll actually usually shoot the ball long every time. It's like, coach, I'm long every time. Well, that's because you're stepping into your shot. You're using your core. You're using your whole body. So we try to get them to understand, how the lower body is so important with shooting.
One thing about that, so when they have their right foot back, left foot forward if they're right-handed.
Yes.
Ball comes and they step fully in. They're not stepping past their foot. They just step fully into their normal footprints.
No, they go way past.
Way past it.
Yeah,
okay.
Way past. Now normally we're like, we want if you're right-handed, we want that right foot just a little bit ahead of the other one. But when we do this drill, we have them take the big step again, not because we want them to be shooting at the game, just to teach them how to go into their shot, and also the emphasizing how you need to get your shoulders in front of your knees when you shoot, because as you know, a lot of guys when they shoot, they slightly lean back,
right?
And then it's a physics thing. I mean, you're trying to project the ball on this arc toward the basket, so you really want your body, projecting that same kind of line toward that arc. And when you lay your shoulders back and get your shoulders behind your knees, then, you don't use your lower body, and then you have to make an adjustment, with your upper body. shooting it harder or whatever. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a good drill just to teach them how to do that. And
How many shots? How long? What do you like to do it
when
for?
we do that, we're not like, it's not a contest or
Right.
anything. We just do like we have them go like 5 at a time, and we use all the buckets. And we say stepping in your shot 5 at a time. Once one guy shoots 5, then the other guy shoots 5.
Yeah. Oh, I
Yeah.
love that, Coach. I'm always looking for new ways to teach players and to help them connect, either rhythm or flow or power, help them connect those. And so that's a new one. And so I appreciate what do you call that? Any fancy name or anything you got for it?
We call it stepping into your shot 3-point shot.
Brilliant. No, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. I'm one of those guys. We don't get too fancy with our names, but like Coach Knight says, though, I mean, the game's played from the ground up. Whether it's offense, defense, moving without the ball. I mean, that's one thing that the pros are so good at. You don't really even think about the pros having bad footwork because you never really see a pro have bad footwork.
That's
but
right.
Just having good footwork and is so critical. And I mean, like even on defense, I mean, we get films on guys. I mean, they're hopping all over the place, up and down, in and out of their stance, and boy, staying athletic, low and wide is so imperative to being a good player.
Yeah, on both ends.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
I think it's impressive that you spend time working on players' form and actually looking at it. Obviously, if it's not broken, you don't fix it. But if you see adjustments that they can make, I think a lot of times we think of as younger players only needing to do that, junior high and maybe young high school players. But here they come. I mean, college athletes, and you're still looking at ways to make their shot more efficient. I think that's impressive.
Yeah, we do a lot of one-hand shooting. I don't know if you've ever seen the Jay Wright get 50 for Villanova, but I mean, yeah, they come out there every day at the start of practice and they shoot. I think it's 10 one-hand shots, or they do 10 Micans, and they do 10 reverse Micans, and 10 one-hand shots, and then 10 where they get the ball above their head and kind of bounce and shoot little 10-footers, and then they go to the top of the key and they step right and step left, working on their footwork. And they start. This is Villanova, won 2 of the last 5 national championships or whatever, and they do that with their guys at the start of practice. So yeah, a lot of guys have flawed shots because they interfere with their offhand, or they do what I call laying the ball into their offhand. They'll have the ball like this, they're shooting a free throw, but if they would take their guide hand off, the ball would fall out of their hand. They don't have control of the ball in one hand. So we really try to get guys to understand that it's basically a one-handed shot. I mean,
right.
You watch Steph Curry or Klay Thompson slow motion. I mean, when they release the ball, their offhand is not touching the ball. So we really try to get them to understand that this is a one-hand shot. This hand over here is just on the side. It's just a guide hand. All it's going to do is just, go like that, come off when you shoot the ball. And so we feel we can get guys to shoot the ball the right way and not thumb it or shoot it two-handed or drag on the ball. That can really help their shooting.
Yeah, that offhand interference, it's the number one reason for lack of consistency in players, but it's so hard to change. Thank you for checking out today's episode. Please take a moment to subscribe to this podcast, share it with your fellow coaches, and find us on social media for what's coming up next on the JAMODI podcast. It's just a matter of doing it.